Good evening, all of you. 1 second, I'm doing all the setting for the live and Zoom is connected. So students are connected here also and there also. You can comment below. Very good evening to all of you. I know costing is also my subject and whatever best we could do, we have done. We don't want to discuss also how was the paper. Honestly, until now, even I have not seen the question paper and neither I want to right now. When all the exams are over, surely we'll meet on a Zoom call and we will discuss all the papers. Right now, this is to give you a genuine wala boost for your preparation for upcoming taxation exam. Okay. So we are discussing everything about direct taxation and indirect taxation, also important topics I will cover. Okay, right? So already there are like free lectures available in the YouTube Sarathi taxation batch, which I was taking live every day in the YouTube. And I have purposely written the topic first in the description itself so that if you can check, suppose you want to revise clubbing, within 15 to 20 minutes you can revise everything in the clubbing in the handwritten notes. And I'm so motivated by seeing all your efforts of writing all the handwritten notes and clicking the picture and send me in the Telegram group. That's why I'm here. This is like so much overwhelming response to the Sarthi batch. Then that said ki chalo, let us take help the students. So my side, I have decided to revise all the concepts without going here and there. But ऐसे एकदम ऊपर ऊपर से नहीं. Concepts I'll revise thoroughly, which are very important. And if you ask me the top 30 or top 50 questions, then whatever I have solved in Sarthi batch. Especially in Sarthi batch, some questions are like concept. Gratuity, एक problem. Leave salary, वो छोड़ दो. But where I have taken problems from the past exams, RTPs, MTPs, past actual exam paper from 21, I've written the numbers also, right? So that PDF file is already there in the Telegram. So right now from the Sarthi booster notes, we are revising, right? Shall we start? Ready to go? Any suggestions are welcome from your side. This is not me dominating कि आप ऐसे ही पढ़ो. This is me supporting me and honestly being your Sarthi. You know what is Sarthi? A companion who is there till your exam. So that's what I want to be with all of you. Any doubts are there, just click the picture, write the topic, send in Telegram group. If you're a part of Challengers WhatsApp group, stand it over there. If not, note down my number and send it over there. Concept classes number save karo or wahan bhejo, will surely. Don't give me calls, but just click the picture, send me, will surely clear it now till night, tomorrow morning, anytime. Okay, right? Note down the number 92900 65156. This is concept classes number. And trust me, from years I'm teaching this subject. You will do awesomely well if you have watched the Sati videos, you have written handwritten notes, and you have solved those problems. Those problems are having all the depth required for the CA CMA exam. So, shall we start the revision? Income tax is not tough, but income tax is vast. So, can I request all of you to please watch the last video on the paper pattern and ABC analysis so that we don't take much time and we complete this revision on time. Chalega, right? So just go to the last ABC analysis. There I have mentioned all the paper pattern and my suggestion, start with MCQs. Okay, and case study based MCQ is nothing but a full problem of 10 marks from capital gain deductions and broken into pieces and given to you in the form of MCQ. So don't do any rough work in your question paper, but there are some MCQs which are tricky. You need to work out to normal income, normal tax, special income, special tax. Then on total tax surcharge, on tax plus surcharge, he says you can keep in your answer sheet 1 page rough work for MCQs and do whatever you wish there. No one is going to do minus marks. Am I very clear? And of course, I've solved top 20, 50, I think. Yeah, 50 MCQs also, which is covering all your amendments and concepts that I really want you to do tomorrow morning. I have covered it at MCQ. It can be a part of your salary problem or your business head problem. Karenge? Abhi, I'm doing revision with all of you for heads of income. The more you respond, the more you will enjoy, and I will also enjoy, right? After completing revision with me, start with your GST, complete it night में जितना हो या कल afternoon तक. फिर income tax के whatever past exam problems you have solved in Sarathi batch, that you check. Top 50 MCQs you check. MTP 1 and 2, this time I have solved separately. That MTP playlist is there in the Telegram and the WhatsApp challenges group. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? टॉप 50 क्वेश्चंस देखोगे, एमटीपी देखोगे, just solve it, no, orally भी चलेगा. And the Sarathi batch, bigger questions, not all the questions are more than 160, but there I have given you detailed conceptual coaching. So leave off the concept questions, that I think you can do it. Chalo. So here we begin with the revision of Sarathi batch with the Sarathi notes itself. So this is our Sarathi notes. And let us begin very quickly with the tax rates. Okay, right. Concept of direct tax, indirect tax, who is SSE in default, representative SSE, distinguish between AOP, BOI. These notes also are there, printed form. Many of you have taken from the Concept Classes app. If not, they are available in the PDF in the Telegram group. Okay, right. How do you say a person is having substantial interest, dear students? This can be asked in MCQs. When he's having at least 20% of voting power in the company, as if it is a partnership for more than 20% of the profit sharing, if it is a company, more than 20% of the ownership of the shares. Okay, there are cases wherein whenever income is undisclosed, income is disclosed, they have to pay 78% tax. Mark it important. Ma'am, how 78%? So if there is illegal investment, unexplained entry in your books, some expenditure lavish you have spent on the birthday parties and wedding anniversaries, then you have to pay 78% tax on that undisclosed income. 60% is the tax, 25% is the surcharge on tax, and on tax plus surcharge, 4% TCS. Tax is always calculated on total income. Surcharge is always calculated on tax, और tax plus surcharge दोनों पे ECES करेंगे, right? So all these incomes you have to disclose the 78% tax, right? Okay. Tax rates, let us quickly check. Up to 2,50,000, no tax. 2 lakh to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. 10 lakh above, 30%. Please don't get confused. Rebate and all the changes which are there, they are for the next year, financial year 23-24. But our financial year is 22-23. Assessment year is 23-24. Now here, if you check, up to 2,50,000 nil. Next 2,50,000 pay 5% is 12,500. 5 to 10 lakh, 5 lakh pay 20%, that is 1 lakh, and 10 lakh above nil. So 1,12,500 is the tax up to 10 lakhs. And if say the income is 80 lakhs, on remaining 70 lakhs, what will be the tax? 30%. Are you all with me? This is the silly mistake done by students. Suppose he is a senior citizen. Then what is the basic exemption? 3 lakh. So 3 lakh to 5 lakh pay 5%. So next 2 lakh pay 5% comes to 10,000, and then 1 lakh, and up to 10 lakh the tax is not 1,12,500 but 1,10,000. So be careful while you calculate tax in computation of total income. 14 marks problem. 14 marks problem is compulsory to solve first, but I feel it's not compulsory to I mean, see, you need to solve it, but it's not necessary that you solve it first only. Are you all with me? So I would suggest you to start with the MCQs and then solve the best of the question 2, 3, 4, whatever you know. If you feel question number 1 is good, salary deductions, you know it, then go for it. Otherwise, you can always do it later. Same way, indirect taxes, MCQs, ठीक है, वो जब हम आएंगे तब I'll say. For super senior citizen, 80 years and above, up to 5 lakh nil, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20% and above. Now see, these senior citizen and the super senior citizen, this is only for resident. This is only for resident. So if you are a non-resident of 82 years, ye exam mein, today's revision, I'll emphasize more on the pitfalls. Be careful. If you are a super senior citizen of 82 years and you are having 10 lakhs income in India, for you the basic exemption will only be 2,50,000. For non-residents, the additional basic exemption of 3 lakh and 5 lakh is not available, right? Okay. And 60 years can be completed anytime. Your happy birthday may be in December 22, March 23 tak, no problem. Okay. Right. Partnership firm and LLP, the tax is 30%. Company, the tax is 30%. Foreign company, 40%. But if the turnover of the company 2 years back in 2021 is up to 400 crores, then that is a special company who pays tax at the rate of 25%. Cooperative society income up to 10,000, 10% and so on. ठीक है ना? चलो. So I feel we'll go in sequence so that we don't waste time in scrolling the pages of my booster notes. Still, if you have any suggestions, just put me here. I'll surely check it. I know some of you are like, ma'am, बहुत थक गए हैं, कम से कम 7 बजे 8 बजे थोड़ा लेट शुरू करना था, but I'm not used to night outs, so I'm taking it earlier. Wherever you join, watch the reverse part. Now, special income, special rate. Long-term capital gain on property and all, 20%. On shares which are listed on stock exchange, STT is paid. 1 lakh additional basic exemption and then it is 10%, 112 AMA. Short-term capital gain on shares and all, it is how much? Short-term capital gain on shares, 15%. Other than shares, jewelry, house and all purchased and sold, then it is slab rate. Casual income, lottery, horse races and all, it is 30%. And undisclosed income, 78%. All clear to all of you? Right. Very quickly now. Surcharge. Surcharge is like if you're earning above an amount good, you can pay extra tax. So surcharge is always paid on tax. So for individual HUF, 50 lakh to 1 crore, surcharge rate is 10%, 1 to 2 crore, 15%, 2 to 5 crore, 25%, and 5 crore and above, whatever income if you have, then 37% is the surcharge, not on income, on tax. Surcharge is always calculated on tax. But if you have short-term capital gain on shares, long-term capital gain on shares, dividend income, and other long-term capital gain, any long-term capital gain, in these 4 cases, higher surcharge rates, 25% and 37% are not applicable. That means if I have long-term capital gain on shares, 8 crores, still what will be my highest surcharge rate? 15%. Is my speed fine? Can you comment below? Please share this video with all your friends. It's going to be really helpful and it will give you a wonderful boost so that you know, ma'am, मैं आज जो पढ़ा रही हूँ, are you able to recollect? If you have watched the Sarathi videos, you'll surely do. Yes? Right. And those Sarathi videos, lot of videos are very, very important for the final students also. Taxation, TDS and all. Yes? Right. So we'll check all that. So surcharge rates are clear. For partnership firm, only single surcharge rate. Above 1 crore, if partnership is income is, then on 30% tax, they have to pay surcharge at the rate of 12%. Domestic companies, 7% from 1 crore to 10 crore, surcharge rate above 10 crore, 12%. Foreign company ka basic rate hi zyada hai, 40% is the tax rate. So surcharge rate is less, 2% and 5%. Here, basic rate is 30%. So, surcharge rate is 7 and 12% if your income exceeds 10 crores. Okay, right. This is asked in MCQs. What is MMR? Maximum marginal rate of tax. What is highest rate of tax individual has to pay? 30%. What's highest rate of surcharge on tax? 37. You can do it in your calculator. And on this, what is the cess? 4%. So 42.47. Pick up your calculator because this has already come twice in the case studies and MCQ. Calculator mein likho 3030 is your tax. 30%. Say your income is 100 and total income पे आपका tax आ रहा है 30. अब ये tax पे into 137%. Into 137% means just add 37% surcharge. You are getting 41.1. Into 104%, 4% cess. That comes to 42.744%. Sure. As we go into the flow, give some time to yourself. You will surely follow what I'm teaching. Any doubt, anything is not clear, comment below. This is going to be 100% in English. And every single moment is very important for me also, as it's important for you also. So we'll not be doing any other discussion other than this. Still, if you have doubt, you can post. ठीक है? Chalo. Yeah. You remember I said 5 marks problem can come for marginal relief. Just because your income exceeded 50 lakhs, you are paying tax on 50 lakhs and above. Surcharge lag ja raha hai na 10%. So your tax is this. If your income would have been 50 lakhs, your tax is this. Without ESS, 51 lakhs pay tax along with surcharge. This is tax. The difference of the tax is this. So how much is the excess tax? 164. How much is the excess income? 1 lakh. So what is the marginal relief? Just because I earned 1 lakh extra, I'm paying 1,64,250 extra. This is not right. So whatever I am paying tax more than income I have earned, 64,250, that's what is the marginal relief. Yeah. And your original tax is what? 1. ये आपका original tax है ना बेटा on 51 lakhs this. Out of that you ask for relief and remaining you pay. On this you add cess. See, when you calculate marginal relief in step 1 and 2, please don't calculate cess. Same is agricultural income, non-agricultural income, pay the tax. Agricultural income, basic exemption, pay the tax. 1 minus 2 is the tax payable. On that, cess is added. Okay? Right. Pause the video and check the example. This is asked in MCQs. Income is always rounded off in the multiples of 10. Who says 288B? Tax is also rounded off in the multiples of 10, right? So that's all for this topic of the slab rates. I think 15 minutes we can allot for each topic to take the important ones. Yeah. Let us go for the new tax regime. Ma'am, when we should do, when they say that SSC is opting for section 115 BAC, alternative tax regime or new tax regime, where the tax rates are low. Right now you are paying 30% tax above 10 lakhs. Here you are paying 30% tax above 15 lakhs. But then you will not get certain exemptions. So very quickly we will say up to 250 nil, 250 to 5 lakh 5%. There it was 5 lakh to 10 lakh 20%. Here 5 to 750 10, 750 to 10 15%. So every 2,50,000 income is increasing. The rate of tax is increasing by 5%. ठीक है? Right. Will rebate be available? Yes. Rebate का concept याद करो सब लोग. Up to 5 lakh, if your total income is, you get a rebate in the tax up to 12,500. This rebate is given only to the residents. I think I missed it in the tax rates. ये है ना rebate रह गया बीच में. Rebate is given only to resident individuals. So 82 years NRI, will he get rebate if his income is only 4 lakh? No. So 12,500 tak rebate milega only resident individual whose income is up to 5 lakh. ठीक है? चलो. So yeah, let us go to the new tax regime. Every 2,50,000 increase in income, tax rate is increasing by 5%. ठीक है? But if you go for new tax regime, you will not get leave travel allowance, HRA and all these exemptions. Minor, for every minor we get 1,500 per minor exemption when income is clubbed, that you will not get. Tax holiday, section 10AA, yaad hai? Total turnover, export turnover, total profit, export turnover inside SEZ, that you will not get. In salary chapter 3 deductions are allowed. Standard deduction, entertain, ये कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा. Your gross salary is taxable salary if you are going for new regime. Remember this. You will not get standard deduction, entertainment allowance deduction for government employees and PT. कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. In self-occupied house property, interest on loan is allowed as deduction in self-occupied up to 2 lakh. And self-occupied property, the GAV and all is nil. So always there is loss. That loss will not be allowed. Additional depreciation you will not get. Basic depreciation you will get. But for new plant and machinery purchased by manufacturers, we were giving 20% additional depreciation. वो नहीं मिलेगा. Scientific research deduction you will not get. 35 AD. रेवेन्यू एंड कैपिटल एक्सपेंस जो डिडक्शन मिल रहा था अंडर स्पेसिफाइड बिजनेसेस 2 स्टार एंड अबव होटल एंड ऑल दैट यू विल नॉट गेट. चैप्टर 6A deductions you will not get except employers contribution to NPS and 80JJAA for the newly recruited people. Okay, yeah, these deductions are not allowed. So related to these deductions, if there are any losses, suppose last year's business loss brought forward includes additional depreciation, that loss will not be allowed. Okay, ma'am, can they decide every year? Yes, individual and HUF who is not having business income, no business income, can decide every year whether they want to file their return in old regime or in new regime. Are you all with me? Yeah, right. But in case individual and HUF is having business income, let them decide for 1 year and opt in. And if they opt out lifetime, they cannot opt in for the new regime till they don't have business income. आपको बात समझ में आ रही है? I'm having business income. I said, okay, sir, I will file my return in 115 BAC. 2-3 years I continued. Then I said, I don't want to continue. Again, can I come in? No, till I have business income. Other than business income, people can decide every year. ठीक है? Right. Same way, those employees for whom TDS is deducted, they need to inform to their employer beforehand only whether TDS should be deducted in old regime or in the new regime. Next, is my speed fine? Because this is discussed so many times in the routine class. AMT, alternative. Ma'am, कैसे पता चलेगा कि we have to apply AMT? Then AMT is, so I feel separately 5 marks question they can ask. In exam, if you have taken any of these deductions, ATH to ATRRB, or you have taken a deduction of specified business, 35 AD, or in your exam, inter-level CA CMA exam, section 10AA, total turnover, export turnover, total. If you have claimed that, then you have to calculate AMT. AMT is because of 35 AD specified businesses, 2-star and above hotel, multi-speciality hospital, warehouses of agricultural produce, they are getting huge deduction of revenue and capital expenditure. And though their income is high, they end up paying zero tax. So they are saying, come se come 18.5% tax to pay karo. Ma'am, how to calculate AMT? First of all, for MCQ, write down. This provisions, yeah, these booster notes are available in Concept Classes app. No delivery charges, nothing, just this book printing cost, 299 we are charging. If you are writing CMA exam, time is there, order this, take the best benefit. Okay? The provisions are applicable to whom? I told you, if they've taken any of these deduction. It will not apply to individual HUF AOP if the adjusted total income does not exceed 20 lakhs. LLP and partnership form, this condition is not. Now, what is adjusted total income? Compute regular income, surcharge, and regular tax, which will come very low because you have taken 35 AD deduction and all. Now, calculate total income, deductions add back karo, add back 35 AD deductions, but in 35 AD, suppose fully you have deducted building. Now you are adding back the cost of the building. Can you allow depreciation 10% on the building? Are you getting? Add back 35 AD revenue and capital expense, and whatever you add back capital expense, deduct the depreciation. ठीक है? Right. Deduction under 10 AA, वो भी कर लो. If you have taken deductions for SEZ unit, which is exporting, add back. When you add back in the total income, ATH to ATRRB deductions, if any, which rarely comes in the exam, add back 35 AD, but allow depreciation, add back 10 AA, you get adjusted total income. If adjusted total income is above 20 lakhs, then only AMT provisions are applicable. Up. On your normal income, normal taxes you have calculated, ABIT. Now, on adjusted total income, alternative minimum tax rate is 18.5%. And then if surcharge applicable, ESES applicable and all. Then whichever is high. Suppose your normal tax comes to 25, but your AMT comes to 38. So 38 minus 25. That is 13 rupees. You can take the credit G minus A and your tax payable will be 30. See, your regular tax is coming to 25 because you have availed the deductions. So now add back the deductions. Yes, add back the deductions. Now what is your income tax liability? Right. And on this, 38 is the tax. So 38 is the tax payable minus 25. If your AMT is more than the regular tax, can you take the tax credit? Answer is yes. You can carry it forward for 15 years. I've got amazing, the most best feedback with my residential status. Sarathi taxation batch. So that's what I want to do. Just I'll bring my water bottle. No break right now. When I give the dinner break, I'll tell you. And let us continue revising the residential status. Just 2 minutes. Wait, dear students. Yes, definitely. We can allot 15 minutes at least to each topic and complete it. Yeah. Everything is clear until now. Wherever you feel you want to learn little more, watch at 1.5 speed if you wish to. Sarathi batch lectures. My suggestion is definitely you should watch Sarathi batch lectures for TDS and TCS. For sure. For sure. जरूर देखना है आपको. ठीक है? चलो. Residential status will decide which income is taxable. So for individual to be resident, every year they have to check the two basic conditions. Is he in India for 182 days or more? First basic condition. Or 60 days or more and 365 days or more in the past 4 years. 182 days or more during the previous year, or just 60 days or more in the previous year, and in the 4 PPYs, 4 preceding years, 365 days or more. Okay? The day you come to India and the day you leave India is counted. So if someone is in India from 15th September, 15th will also be counted. If he leaves on 13th October, 13th will also be counted. If individual satisfies any one of the basic condition, check the additional conditions whether he is resident and ordinary resident. 2 out of the 10 preceding additional conditions both should be satisfied for resident and ordinary resident. Basic condition, any one. And additional conditions are related to the previous years. So 2 out of the 10 immediately preceding years, he should be resident. And in the last 7 years, 730 days, he should be present in India. Not continuous. Followed all of you? Chalo, jaldi se flowchart dekho, individual. Is he satisfying both any one of the basic condition? 182 days or 60 days and 365 days? Yes. Is he satisfying both the additional conditions? Out of the last 10 years, 2 years he is resident. Out of the last 7 years, 730 days he is in India. Then he is said to be resident and ordinary resident. Otherwise resident but not ordinary resident. Okay. I'm not revising very in-depth concept. I'm revising, I feel, which are very important to solve the problems. And problems also we will do, like residential status. One problem in Sarathi batch I've solved, which is covering up everything. So just the gist I'll revise. I'm not solving the problem right. Acha, basic condition anyone is satisfied, but additional conditions none is satisfied or one is satisfied. Then what it is? Resident but not ordinary resident. And individuals. Okay? If he's not satisfying the basic conditions only, then he's said to be what? Non-resident. Okay? Right. Now, exception to the rule wherein second basic condition is not applicable. What is the second basic condition? 60 days he is in India in the previous year, and in the preceding 4 years, 365 days or more. So second basic condition is not applicable if a person is leaving India for employment, or a person is leaving India as a member of crew. Then he will sign on the continuous discharge certificate. ये MCQ में या case study में पूछते हैं. Or a person's, most important on this part only, questions are framed and they are going to be framed in upcoming exam, in case study, in MCQ, and separate question for 4 marks. Person of Indian origin staying abroad, coming to visit India. Less than 120 days he is in India, non-resident. If he is in India for 120 days to 181 days and his total income exceeds 15 lakhs, and in the last 4 years he is in India for 365 days, he is said to be resident but not ordinary. आपको बात समझ में आ रही? Ma'am, you said second basic condition is not applicable. But if a person is of Indian origin, when do we say that a person is of Indian origin? When he or any of his parents or grandparents are born in undivided India. So he is in India for 120 days to 181 days. Ma'am, why 181? Because 182 ke above to वैसे भी he will be resident. And he will satisfy the first condition. So if he is in India between 120 days and 181 days, yes. Has he earned in India above 15 lakhs? Yes. And in the 4 previous year, is he in India for more than 365 days? Yes. He is said to be resident, but not ordinary. एंड मोर देन 181 days मतलब 182 days, वो तो सेटिस्फाई हो ही गया फिर, ठीक है ना, करेक्ट है, राइट, चलो. All right. Expected question is write a short note or solve a question based on the concept of deemed resident. Section 6(1)(a). Okay? Right. I'm again saying 2 minutes. Listen carefully. Case study is not a top. In Hindi, I call it, I don't know what to call top in English. Case study is nothing but a 10 marks question which you have to solve, and 10 marks with the bits, the gross total income, the total income, the tax, and this and that. If he doesn't pay regular tax, if he pays 100, that's what are the bits. So if you solve it in the flow, you will surely be able to do. Deemed resident concept is asked too much nowadays in exam. So booster notes में हमने इसके problem भी solve किए थे. Is the person said to be deemed resident when he is an individual? Indian citizen, not Indian origin, Indian citizen, whose income in India exceeds 15 lakhs and he is not liable to pay tax in any other country. Jiska koi nahi, uska khuda. That's the logic. He is said to be deemed resident, and resident but not ordinary resident, and no need to check the additional condition because he is resident but not ordinary. Ma'am, फिर से बोलिए. Indian citizen staying abroad, coming to India, maybe for 1 day or kitne bhi din. Here days are not important. Ma'am, 12 days, no problem. Is he having more than 15 lakhs income in India? Yes. He's not paying tax in any other country. And India mein above 15 lakhs is a good amount. Then you are said to be resident, but not ordinary resident. Residential status, why is it important? So that you can decide how much tax a person is going to pay. Okay, right. Very important is remittances are not income. A doctor is earning income in England and then he sends that income to his wife in India to pay the school fees of children, and all that income is not taxable again because it's not income received in India. Remitted is transfer after it becomes taxable outside India. Residential status of HUF, AOP, BOI, partnership firm, LLP. Control and management wholly or partially in India. Control and management of HUF, matlab karta. Control and management of partnership firm means working partners. Are they taking decisions partly from India, partly from Switzerland? Then it is said to be resident. Control and management wholly outside India, then it's said to be non-resident. Nice, yeah. And additional conditions are applicable only for individual and HUF. So HUF mein who will satisfy the additional condition? Karta. Okay. Karta will say, if Karta satisfies both the additional conditions, out of the last 10 years, Karta is resident for 2 years, out of the last 7 years, 730 days or more he is in India, then he is said to be, who? HUF is said to be resident and ordinary resident. If the conditions are not satisfied by Karta, additional conditions, then it is said to be resident but not ordinary resident. Residential status of Indian companies always resident because they have AGM in India, they have the corporate office in India. Foreign company, if the poem, place of effective management, control and management, heads and brains of the foreign company are wholly in India. Company foreign ki hai, but all the decisions are taken from India, then resident. Otherwise, non-resident. Nice. Okay. This is the pumping heart of the chapter. 5 marks, triple column problem is asked, and my MTP paper correction experiences. Generally, students do the mistake in receipt and remittance. And one more thing, past untaxed profit brought in India is not taxable for anyone. Past untaxed profit means you have not paid the tax in India, but that income you have, like Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. In that movie, Amrish Puri was in London for 20 years. He earned there, he has paid tax. Then he's shifting to Amritsar. He's bringing whole of his capital and profit to India. That past untaxed profit, when it is brought to India, is it income? First of all, answer is no. So this is not taxable for anyone. I'm exactly making you alert, dear students, of where you should not do the mistake. Please comment below so that I can even know whether this is helpful or not. Sarathi batch, you all gave the feedback and it was helpful. Yeah. I never take salary head first, but aaj to hum head wise hi jayenge so that it is clear. Yeah, live chat is on. You can comment. If you're watching as recording, still you can comment. है ना? Chalo. Why this table is important? Okay, you have decided ki say Saurav is resident and ordinary resident. Resident but not ordinary or non. How income is going to be taxable? Income received in India. First only received, taxable for all. Income deemed to be received, like accrued in India. Indian company giving dividend. You may receive dividend in France, but it's Indian company, no? It's taxable. Income received in India, deemed to be received. Income accruing in India. A person from, say, China has sold the property to someone in Sri Lanka, but the property is in Chennai, in India. Will they have to pay tax in India? Yes, because the income is accruing or arising in India. Or government of India paying salary to someone, its income is accruing in India. Income deemed to accrue. Once again, income received in India, deemed to receive. Accrued in India, deemed to accrue. These are the income which are taxable for all. Income received and accrued outside India from a business controlled from India. Nice and clear to all of you. Income received and accrued outside India from a business which is controlled in India. Income कहाँ receive है बेटा? India के बाहर. Accrue कहाँ है? India के बाहर. But business कहाँ से control हो रहा है? India से. Then resident and ordinary resident, resident and not ordinary resident will pay the tax. Income received outside India, controlled outside India, accrued outside India, only this. In short, this person will pay the tax on world income. And non-resident will pay the tax only if they have received or accrued, है ना? In India. Otherwise, why they will pay the tax? And this person has this part extra. Income received outside India, accrued outside India, but business controlled from India. I am just not scaring you, but making you aware, dear students, ki please don't go lengthy for this. Students take so much more time in solving residential status question. They make the columns correctly, they compute the income, and they go on writing notes. Notes are there in your study material and suggested answers for explanation. You don't have to write so many explanations in exam. That for R and OR, the world income will be taxable. Who said? Dipti ma'am said. ऐसे नहीं होता. ठीक है? So be careful that you're not writing irrelevant notes and explanations, because lot of energy is taken in explaining. Like in income from other sources, only write down PPF interest 8,000 outer column exempt, so that it's clear कि PPF interest is received by SSA exempt. फिर नीचे note लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Huh? So save your time. Residential status question should not be going beyond 3/4 of the page. Are you all clear? Chalo. And other this, I have given the case to all of you for that interest, royalty and technical fees. ये तीनों के लिए जिस notes मैंने यहाँ दिया है, I think if you remember this, you will be able to solve the MCQ and table. Check this. Interest, royalty, fees for technical fees, these are all my own created booster notes. If it is paid by government of India, it is taxable. Anywhere. Government of India paying you royalty in Switzerland, government of India paying technical fees in London, Spain, kidhar bhi, it's taxable in India. If this is paid by resident for business in India, I'm taking loan from a non-resident to use for my business in India. Even though interest I'm paying to NRI, will it be taxable in India? Yes. I'm paying paid by resident royalty for use in India. Will that royalty income recipient ke liye taxable in India? Yes. Paid by resident for business connection or project outside India to non-resident, not taxable. I am paying royalty to a Spain person, technician, for my project in Spain. So in Spain, I am paying technical fees. I am an Indian company, but fees कहाँ pay कर रही हूँ Spain में? किसको? To a technician who is Spain का person. Will that income be taxable in India for that Spain person? Answer is no. How is this gist? I feel you should take a screenshot and learn. Of course, in detail also I've given, but this is a rapid revision. So I'm not going fast, but I'm going important wise. Problems abhi I'm not having time. Otherwise, I would have shown you how we have written the running notes in the Sarathi batch. And if you really want to take the benefit of my rapid revision, tomorrow when you wake up, the first thing you do is all the important problems of past exam we have solved in the Sarathi batch. Just check it once. Today night after this, you can do GST. Morning, complete those problems again, complete the remaining part of the GST. And evenings, you spare time for 50 MCQs. That gives you a confident mindset कि हाँ कर पाएंगे आप. हाँ? And MTPs also. MTP 1, 2 also. फिर से एक बार. Interest, royalty, fees paid by Government of India, taxable. Paid for a project in India, taxable. Paid to non-resident for project outside India, not taxable. Paid by non-resident for any business connection or project in India. Non-resident is paying technical fees, maybe to another non-resident, but for their project in India. One non-resident paying technical fees to another non-resident, but the project is in Madurai. They are making a hotel near Meenakshi temple, taxable. Okay? Take your time. I've tried my best to explain. That's all for this. Agricultural income कहाँ आएगा बेटा? 14 marks के question में. Agricultural income, non-agricultural, calculate tax without cess. Like I taught you in marginal relief. Agricultural income, basic exemption, calculate tax. 1 minus 2 is tax payable, minus rebate or add surcharge if any. On this tax side, he says this is your tax payable. So agricultural income is taxable separately for individuals, HUF, COP. This is a very important topic for CMA students. Literally, I'm saying every year, CMA students to get 6 marks. Now, for those who are writing CA exam, less chances of getting separate problem, but computation of total income problem will have two top flavors. Either they'll give you agricultural income, so you have to calculate the tax by step method. Ma'am, bola to nahi. But if they have agricultural income in India, step method. If they have agricultural income in Malaysia and Singapore and all, tax it in income from other sources. ठीक है? For individual HUF, AOP, BOF, agricultural income is above 5,000 and non-agricultural income is. And then for that, वो tea, coffee, rubber वाला कहाँ गया? अरे, did I miss out that table copying over here? Oh, sure. I'll show you in our regular batch. 2 minutes it will take. Because that tea, coffee, rubber plantation, it comes in exam. Yeah, this table. Tea and coffee, how much is agricultural income? 60%. How much is taxable? 40. Rubber is 65, 35. Can they ask you in MCQs? Yes. Abhi learn kar lo, baad mein nahi. Coffee grown and cured, 75, 25. Grown, cured, roasted, powdered, all that, then it is 60 and 40, like tea, coffee. चेक करो, और रेट में कुछ डाउट है तो पूछो. Agricultural income is only that income, like what rent and revenue you derive from the agricultural land, or income derived from agricultural process. Either you perform or give it on rent to farmer and let him do, or agricultural income from a farm building which you give on rent. On agricultural land, if you open a resort or if you give it for shooting and all, it's taxable. Okay? That's all for this. Income which are exempt हमने अलग से पढ़े हैं, but इसमें the most important ones we will do is this one. Section 10AA. मैम कैसे पता चलेगा Section 10AA? ये रहा. First 5 years 100% of the export profit. Next 5 years 50%. Next 5 years 50% or amount transferred. How do we get the export profit? Total turnover, total profit. Export turnover, export profit, cross multiply. Only for the SEZ unit you get this exemption under Section 10AA. And if you are taking Section 10AA exemption, add it, that's called adjusted total income, and calculate 18.5% alternative minimum tax also. ठीक है? चलो. All right, so here we complete 1 hour of our basics, and now let us quickly start with salary. Are you all with me? करें साथ में salary शुरू. पूछो क्या डाउट है. सैलरी से शुरू करते हैं. या salary is basic. DA, whatever DA you receive, say 1,000 rupees is going to be taxable. But if they say 60% considered for retirement benefit, means while calculations you take only 600 rupees for definition of salary. But first of all, whatever DA you receive is going to be taxable. Okay? Allowances, perquisites, all gross salary. Standard deduction is given up to 50,000. Entertainment allowance deduction is given only to government employees. And profession tax, if the employee pays, deduct. If employer pays, it's like a employer से employee को जो भी benefit आता है ना, perquisite allowance, all, it's like a waterfall. So add it and then deduct it. ठीक है? Salary from present employer, former employer, all is taxable. Yeah. Director's salary, either you can tax it here or you can tax it in income from other sources. Right? Standard deduction is 50,000. Entertainment allowance deduction is given only for government employees. 5,000 or 1/5, that is 20% of salary, or actual entertainment allowance. 20% of salary you have to take only basic. Profession tax, is it clear? If employee pays, deduct. If employer pays on behalf of employee, तो add करो as a perquisite and then deduct also. ठीक है? Right. चलो. This topic very quickly we will do it in 10 minutes, and I have given a very nice table. When I come to that, I'll say take a screenshot if you have not ordered for the Sarathi booster notes. क्या कर रहे हैं हम? We will divide this topic into retirement benefits. Then we will do all the allowances, and then we will do all the perquisites. ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले gratuity. Gratuity. Government employees के लिए exempt. Gratuity, if they are covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act, not covered. When they are covered under Payment of Gratuity Act, when more than 10 employees, and conditions what you study in law. So if they are covered, how much gratuity will be deduction exempted under 1010? कितना मिलेगा? Actual amount received. If they are covered, 15/26. If they are not covered, 15/30. Last month's salary into number of years. Here, last 10 months average salary into number of years. Clear to all of you? Huh? 15 by 26 into last month's salary for the gratuity covered me into number of years. Here 15 by 30 into the last 10 months average salary. यहाँ पे last month, यहाँ last 10 months average salary into number of years. अच्छा, जितने साल you have worked, half month salary you are taking. But here 10 years and 7 months, so 11 years. So you have to take the fraction also. Here 10 years and 7 months is also 10 years, 10 years and 5 months. So here fractions of months are ignored. So if someone has worked 23 months, 23 years and 7 months, I'll take it as 24 months. And for per month, half month, 15 by 26. Here 15 by 30. What's government limit? 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Are you following or not? Huh? Is it very clear to all of you? Yeah. Don't do any analysis of costing paper. Done is done. Just go very fresh for the DT. हो जाएगा. चलो. Here salary includes salary and all DA. Here salary includes salary, DA if considered for retirement and commission as a percentage of turnover. Here average salary of the last 10 months excluding last one. तो यहाँ तो last. Government limits for the retirement benefits are for the lifetime. Are you all with me? Government limits are for lifetime. Well, suppose if you have earlier you were working 15 years with ABC Limited and they gave you gratuity 2 lakhs and you took exemption under section 10 AA 2 lakhs. Sorry, 1010 2 lakh. Now when you are working with PQR Limited, तो आपके लिए गवर्नमेंट लिमिट कितनी होगी 18 lakhs. So all the government limits are for lifetime. Is this clear to all of you? Right. So see this regular मतलब सारथी बैच में हमने gratuity का concept किया, then problem की, then pension, then problem. So if you feel any topic you need more help, do watch the free direct access videos are there. Sarathi to the point knowledge, but they're one concept, one problem. Rapid revision, all the concepts and waiting for your doubts. If you have any doubts, you ask me. ठीक है? चलो. Pension. When the employee retires, you get pension that's called as commuted pension. Yeah. Received by government employees is exempt. Non-government employees. If you are receiving gratuity, then 1/3 of 100%. You know what is commuted pension? Generally, pension is received per month. Ma'am, what is per month pension called? Per month pension is uncommuted pension. Is it taxable for all? Yes. You were working with me till October. November you retired. So after retirement, can I pay you per month 5,000 pension? Yes. In retirement benefits, don't take the basic salary multiplied by 12. Very important. 2 minute screen band karo. Check with me. Don't do this silly mistake. In the MTP papers, I really felt bad for an employee who's retiring on 31st December. Students are taking basic salary 50,000 into 12. This gone. He's retiring in December and financial year is April to March. So 50,000 into 9 months. ठीक है? After the retirement, can we pay you per month pension? Yes. Per month pension is called as uncommuted pension, which is taxable for all. Uncommuted pension means the pension, it is taxable for all. But you know, instead of taking 5,000 per month, it is my daughter's wedding or her education. Can I say 5,000 mein 1,000 so you keep paying me per month, but 4,000 if you are going to pay me for 4 years and 12 months, can you give me lump sum? Yes. This lump sum pension is called as uncommuted pension. Okay? Sorry, commuted pension. So say 5,000 ka 20% so you are continuing receiving per month. But 80% you have encashed. 80% when you encash, then exemption will be along with pension. Have you received gratuity? Then 1/3 of, not what you have received 80%. 80% pension commuted is this, say 8 lakhs. So 100% will be kitna? 10 lakh. So 10 lakh ka 1/3 will be exempt if you are receiving gratuity. If you are not receiving gratuity, then 100% ka half will be exempt. Ma'am, what about monthly pension? It will be taxable. One problem, if I do now it will be clear. But I don't know. I think it's already 8 o'clock and a lot of schedule is there to be covered up, important topics, TDS mein khas karke and all. So I don't think if I take problem orally also from my Sarathi batch mein jo solved hai, to bhi time काफी चला जाएगा. Huh? So if you feel anywhere, just note it down. You message me in the WhatsApp group and I'm ready to help you. कोई भी डाउट है तो पूछो, कोई भी एग्जाम का. Yes, sure. CMA students, सबसे पहले तो आपका MTP solve करना है. Once we are done with the CA students and taxation exam is over, then for CMA students, definitely we'll solve the MTP one in the next week. Okay, sure. Leave salary. When the employee's leave are accumulated and he's leaving, then he gets leave salary. And the exemption is under section 10AA. Cash equivalent, मतलब जमा है, of leave credit at the time of retirement. How much chuttis are at the credit? Less leave allowed as per 30 days or less. If the company allows 40 days also, whatever is the actual leave allowed, deducted. Balance. समझ में आ रहा है? Leave allowed as per 30 days or more. If they give 45 days, will you allow 45 days? No. Income tax says 30 days leave is allowed maximum per year. But ma'am, company is giving 25 days leave, then 25 days. Ma'am, company is giving 60 days leave per year, then 30 days. So maximum leave allowed is 30 days multiplied by completed years. Fraction chhod do. Less leave availed. So allowed leaves are 600. Availed are 200. How much are balance at the credit? 400. And take the average salary of last 10 months. Government limit is 3 lakh. What's government limit for gratuity? 20 lakhs. What's government limit for pension? अरे कुछ नहीं है, pension के लिए कोई government limit नहीं. What's government limit for leave salary? 3 lakhs. And actual leave salary, whichever is lower, you have to deduct. ठीक है? Definition for leave salary same. Basic DA commission. DA, again I'm saying whatever you receive will be taxable. Only for this definition, you have to take whatever you have to consider for the retirement benefit. Is this revision video helpful? Then please comment below. Please like and share with your friends so that you get a perfect push. And after this, Sarathi batch, important 1 or 2 videos, watch it. Top 50 MCQs, MTP, and past exam papers. Don't now dive into कि study material का ये problem करने बैठूं हूँ. अब नहीं, study material is done. Okay, right. So let us go to the retrenchment compensation when we remove the employee. 5 lakh 15 by 13 to the last 3 months average salary into completed years of fraction and actual amount received. VRS, last salary drawn into 3 into completed years or last salary into remaining months, 5 lakh. I never start with the salary chapter generally. In my teaching also, I take it last because it has certain limits. But now we don't have time to scroll so much. So let us just continue. PF. RPF is exempt up to 12% contribution. Interest is exempt up to 9.5%. Above that, it will be taxable. URPF, everything will be exempt. But when on maturity, unrecognized provident fund is received. See, if they ask you salary question, definitely one bit will be the RPF. If they have contributed 15% of basic, then exemption allowed is 12% of basic DA and commission. डायरेक्टली ऐसे नहीं लेना 15% इतना है 12 इतना तो 3 कितना एंड ऑल नो ठीक है राइट URPF whenever you contribute and all that time so nothing is taxable but on maturity because it is unrecognized employees contribution is exempt URPF may you yourself contributed and you got your 100 rupees back not taxable interest on employees contribution my own contribution pay interest is taxable in other source but employers contribution to unrecognized provident fund URPF and interest thereon will be taxable in income from other sources PPF तो वैसे ही exempt है ठीक है see this concept and related problems this is how our material is made yeah if you need answers for this also tell me answer book is also available this is a very nice amendment for this year based on this I have solved top 50 MCQs also 2 minutes I'll take it when employer is contributing yeah interest on employee I'm not revising everything only the gist which is important आप ये मत सोचो कि मैम इतना ज्यादा पढ़ा रहे कि कुछ भी याद नहीं रहेगा नो it will not happen for sure where employer is contributing okay then interest on employees contribution above 2,50,000 will be taxable so if the employee has contributed 5 lakh so whatever say 4 lakh so whatever 1.5 lakh employee has contributed above 2,50,000 on that interest becomes taxable if employer is not contributing then employee can contribute up to 5 lakh but he contributed 7 lakh then on 2 lakh it will become taxable bolo clear hai ya nahi चलें साथ में आगे done so this is a very nice amendment yeah chalo how much the employer's contribution is allowed for superannuation fund I know there are limits for this topic but if you revise it 2-3 times it will surely be clear let us go to allowances entertainment D all these are allowances which are fully taxable fully exempt are allowances given to government employees and all under section 10(7) and all UNOs embassies high court के judge इनको जो allowances मिलते हैं पूरे exempt exam में most important are allowances which are partly exempt and partly taxable right chalo let us check up house rent allowance house rent allowance HRA under section 10(13)A is exempt least rent paid minus 10% of salary 50% of salary or in case of metro or 40% and actual now what's the definition of salary same basic DA considered for retirement benefit and commission as a percentage of turnover बराबर है clear है सबको house rent allowances rent paid minus 10% of salary if the employee is getting HRA and he's staying with his father what will be the rent paid by him 0 what will be the exemption 0 If employee stays in Hyderabad from April to December and gets HRA, then calculate all this for 9 months. Remaining 3 months, he shifted from Hyderabad to Delhi and he is getting RFA. Then for 3 months, calculate the rent-free accommodation. So what you do for 12 months, that you do for 9 months and 3 months. चलिए साथ में, right. Children education allowance is exempt, 100 per month per child, maximum up to 2 children. Hostel expenditure 300. Transport allowance is exempt only for handicapped or all that, blindness and वो सब के लिए ही exempt है up to 3,200. ठीक है, right. चलो. Yeah. Suppose an employee is getting uniform allowance or traveling allowance 50,000, but out of that 30,000 he spends for uniform or traveling for the company itself. Then remaining 20,000 it will become taxable. Are you getting? Ma'am, just now you said all the allowances are taxable. Yeah, but if certain allowances are spent for the company, that much you get exemption in 2BB. अभी देखो अलाउंस किया तो उसी से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन. One concept, one problem is the base of Sarathi notes. Perquisites are all exempt. अब employees related staff insurance is exempt. Personal accident policy and mediclaim is exempt, but life insurance becomes taxable. Employer is giving laptop use exempt. Loan he is giving up to 20,000 exempt. Children's education in the school maintained by the employer is exempt up to 1,000. But if the expenditure is say 1,800, you can't say, ma'am, 800 will become, once it exceeds full amount will be taxable. Gift by employer to employee are exempt up to 5,000. It will come better now. Yeah. Medical facilities in the hospital maintained by employer, government hospital exempt. Specified disease, HIV and all exempt. Treatment abroad with travel and stay expenditure with the patient exempt. Baki private hospital pura taxable. COVID se related, they have given amendment that any reimbursement is made by employer, it will be exempt till the actual expense incurred. Like employer paid 3 lakh for them to the employee who suffered from COVID, but employee ka expenditure is only 250. Excess what he has paid will become taxable. Rent-free accommodation is you are staying in the house which or building which is maintained by employer or employer is paying rent. Yeah. Then 15% of the salary is your RFA. RFA, even if it is given first, you do it later. हाँ? आप पहले नहीं करना RFA, बाद में ही करना. Why? Because for RFA, salaries definition is सबसे बड़ा वाला, biggest. Basic, DA, bonus, commission, fees, taxable allowance, not one allowance you receive. Exemption के बाद. Okay? Only perquisites are not included and provident fund and all is not included. ठीक है? Right. Contribution to PF and perquisites. समझ में आया? So 15% of salary or rent paid by employer. Whichever is lower is the taxable RFA. And if employee is purchasing furniture and he is providing you furnished house, then original cost ka 10%. WDV is given to confuse you. Just take original cost. That's enough. I'm taking extra time for salary because it's vast. We can compensate in house property, which is very easy. Yes or no? Comment something. Right. RFA clear hai beta? Perquisites. If loan is given to Sakshi at 5%, 1 lakh rupees by employer, when the SBI or RBI rate is 8%, 3% will become taxable. If any movable asset is given by employer for employee to use, 10% per annum will be the perquisite for employee. So if it is given on 1st August, April, May, June, July छोड़ देना, August से 8 months का ही लेना. Clear? Right. And if some, see, these are like important bits. इसके बिना problem कैसे बनेगा? 8 marks problem, short from salary and from capital gain. House property comes in total income or it may not come. तो ये तो आएगा. If the employer transfers asset to employee after use, then original cost of the asset to employer, say 100 rupees, 10% depreciation for completed years. 3 years and 2 months used by the company. So only 3 years ka depreciation. So it is coming to 30. The day I gave to employee, what was the value? 70. Less the amount paid by employee. But I took 10 rupees from my employee. Huh? I didn't give in free. So what is the value of perquisite? 60 rupees. 10% depreciation you have to take for completed years for use by employee, employer. And then he transferred. Employer ने 2019 में एक बुलेट गाड़ी खरीदी, 22 तक यूज किया, 3 years, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22. And then they transferred. So for 3 years you will charge depreciation. Motor car, 20% depreciation you have to charge WDV. Ma'am, are the rates different from block of asset? Yes. These are only for calculation of the this salary and all. समझ में आ रहा है? Motor car, 20%. Computer, 50%. Other assets, 10%. Motor car, 20% WDV. Computer, 50% WDV. Other assets, 10%. SLM for completed year, charge the depreciation. So for 3 years, 30 rupees. Okay, take. आज के डेट में इसका वैल्यू 70 rupees है, ये तुम रखो. But from employee, I am charging 10 rupees. So I am giving benefit of 60. 60 will be taxable. Other than this, servant, gardener, sweeper, gas, electricity, whatever are personal benefits provided to employee by employer, all are taxable. ESOP surely comes in MCQ. 1,000 shares are allotted at 200, whereas the market value is 300. So 1,000 into 100 will become the perquisite value. 300 share I'm giving to my employee at 200. Am I giving 100 rupees benefit? Yes, let it be taxable. When the employee is selling the share, even though they have paid 200, cost deductible is 300 and that's allowed. Why? 200 employee has paid. ESOP jab shares mile na, so they have paid. And 100 rupees pay, they have paid the tax as perquisite. So when employee again takes it, it is 300. Clear to all of you? I don't know, can't go much faster than this, but I think I've covered everything. Now you can check that table and take a screenshot. Yeah, motor car. Owned by employer, expense by employer, partly used here and there. Then if the CC of the car is up to 1.6, then 1,800 per month. Above 2,400 direct taxable हो जाएगा. For driver 900. कार employer की expense employee के हैं तो 600 and 900 per month. Car employee की expense employer की, then actual amount of expense incurred minus this. Say 60,000 incurred minus 1,800, that will be exempt and remaining will become taxable. ठीक है? Yeah. If they ask you calculate the salary, person joined in January 21 with 50,000, 500, 55,000, 1,000 scale. Means every January, what's the salary increasing by 500? This can be asked in 2 marks MCQ. So January 21 to December 21, 50,000. January 22 to December 50,500. तो April 22 to December 22 कितना होगा? 50,500. फिर January 23 से कितना हो जाएगा? 51,000. Every year in January, ma'am, why January? because he joined in January. It will become 51,000. Yeah. So 50,500 into 9 and 51,000 into 3. This is the salary. Take 2 minutes time. Other classes are pretty easy, but these classes are honestly little tiring. Continuous we have to speak and no break. And this is not recorded कि हाँ आधा घंटा रेस्ट कर लो फिर रिकॉर्ड करो और फिर अपलोड करो. ये लाइव चल रहा है यूट्यूब. So I hope I'm justifying and helping you all. Huh? Chalo, right. Yeah, check the grading system. If you have any doubt, ask. Chalo. Checked it and check this as a gift. अभी ये इसका screenshot ले लो. I know some of the students are like so tired and now they have started watching messaging me. Okay, ठीक है. ये बाद में चेक कर लेना है चैप्टर. अभी तो साथ में करो. रिलीफ मैं समझा रही हूँ. ये देखो ये पूरा बड़ा सा टेबल है for all the limits. This table I have already sent in the WhatsApp Telegram. If you need a copy of this, message me now. पूरे एक साथ पूरे limits. Definition of salary for entertainment allowance, government employees, only basic. For gratuity, basic and all DA. For all the other retirement benefits, HRA and all, basic DA commission. For rent-free accommodation, definition of salary is little vast. Basic DA commission, bonus, taxable allowances and all. So that's all for salary chapter. It's 1.5 hours. So we'll take a break of 2 to 3 minutes and come back. Dinner break I'll give you at 9 o'clock and then we'll continue the rest of the topics. Okay? Trying to do it fast, but I can't, rush and किसी भी करके बस खत्म कर दो, वैसे नहीं करना. So see your watches. 3 minutes में assemble back. All right. Are you all also back? Chalo, let us start. Yes. Yes, you can. Listen, the question is, do you need to watch all the Sarathi batch videos also? Not all. If you're very sure that you have understood house property and you have solved all the problems and it's very clear, you can skip that. If you feel you want to revise the TDS, TCS rates, especially the recent ones, watch the second lecture, 194 PQ. Okay? Right. Now it's your choice, dear students. So much is done already from our side. चलो ठीक है, अभी तो ये रिवाइज करते हैं. इनकम फ्रॉम हाउस प्रॉपर्टी से सेल्फ ऑक्यूपाइड प्रॉपर्टी एवरीथिंग इज निल. Interest on loan is allowed maximum up to 2 lakh. If there are co-owners of property, per co-owner this is the limit. And if it is let out and deemed let out, GAV less municipal taxes are allowed only if it is paid by owner. NAV less standard deduction 30% of the NAV. Standard deduction is for all the expenses which are deductible. Okay, right. Then interest on loan is allowed. In deemed let out and let out, actual interest on loan is allowed. And reconstruction interest. You get income from house property. If house property one, there's a loss, here there's income, we can set off. Now, how to calculate the GAV? Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. This is step one. That or standard rent, whichever is lower. That is step two. That or actual rent, whichever is higher. Okay. Now, if actual rent is low here only due to vacancy, then even though actual rent is low, that will be taken as GAV. Clear to all of you? Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher, that or standard rent, whichever is lower, that step two, or actual rent, whichever is higher. Ma'am, but here actual rent is low only because it was vacant for 3 months. Otherwise, it could have been high. Then take actual rent as GAV. And if partly the property is let out and partly till December it is let out and then it is self-occupied, just follow all the 3 steps. Municipal tax are deducted only if they are paid by owner. Along with municipal tax, nowadays a new term they are adding on is sewerage tax. Yes. 2 years का एक साथ पे किया तो पहले का balance, yes. In advance, no, it's not allowed. Standard deduction is allowed 30% of the NAV. Then separately repairs, insurance, liftman, watchman, nothing is allowed. This is a beautiful flow chart for interest on loan. 2 minutes I'll take and explain. Let out and deemed let out, full interest is allowed. हर जगह 2 lakh का limit नहीं है. Only in case of self-occupied, if you have taken a loan after 1499 for purchase or construction, and construction is completed in 5 years, loan interest is allowed is up to 2 lakh. In self-occupied, where it's always a loss, if the loan is taken before 1499 or for repairs and all, today also in 20 to 23 also, if you have taken loan for repairs, then maximum interest allowed is how much? Up to 30,000. Okay? Interest on interest is not allowed. To pay interest, you take loan from someone to pay interest on that second loan you have taken to pay the interest. That interest is not allowed. Interest on housing loan is allowed. Yeah? Right. Unrealized rent is the rent which you have not received. It is deductible provided tenancy is bona fide and all. I think ye aap kar loge. Arrears of rent and unrealized rent, whenever it is received, it is separately taxable with 30% standard deduction. ठीक है? Right. So that's it majorly. Some minor points may be left, but combination, how many houses you can have as self-occupied? 2. So if you have 3 self-occupied property, you have to work that combination problem. Okay? Come to business head. Business head chargeability section 28 and 10 ICDS are applicable to compute business income and other source income. For all the SSEs, individuals and HF, it is applicable only if their books of accounts are audited. ICDS, income computation disclosure standards, are used for computing business income and other source. It has got nothing to do with your books of accounts. Right. How to compute business income? Start with net profit as per books. Add back all the expenses which are debited but not allowed, like depreciation as per books, personal expenses, expenses which are deductible in other heads. Huh? So here they are not allowed, no? Not allowed means reduce the expense. If you reduce the expense, what's the impact on profit? Add. So add. This format I can explain with 4-5 good examples for half an hour, and you will be never be confused कि add करना है less करना है. अगर आपको लग रहा है, if you feel business head computation of income 14 marks problem is compulsory. Again, I'm saying it's not compulsory to solve it first, but it comes in question number 1, 14 marks. So if you feel you need more practice for add and less, watch first Sarathi YouTube video for business head. लिखा है business head part 1. Okay. Chalo, just I am giving. If you have not considered business income, add it. Expenses allowed but not debited, now you debit. So now if you debit, it will reduce the profit, like depreciation as per income tax rules. And I call it as kachra. P&L account credit side, if they give you dividend received, rent received, is this all your business income? No, but they have been credited in the P&L account, so less, remove. Problems में these two are the most important income. ठीक है? Right. Depreciation, it is mandatory to charge as per WDV method, not on the day you purchase, but the day you put to use. It is mandatory. Yeah, right. On actual cost minus subsidy, add interest on loan, freight and installation charges. GST, add it if you have not taken the ITC. You will get the cost and charge the depreciation. Depreciation is charged not asset wise, it is charged block wise. So if a part of the asset is sold, don't calculate profit and loss. Yeah, opening WDV plus purchase. Dear students, while writing purchase in exam, do write date. Date will clarify if the asset is used for more than 180 days, full year's depreciation. Less than 180 days, half year's depreciation. Less the sales value and balance. So in the year of sale, even if I have used the asset till 20th February 2023, no depreciation. Opening plus addition minus sale value. On this balance, depreciation is charged to get closing value. When the whole block is sold, this problem is solved in Sarathi. If you want to check the example, you can check. But when the whole block is sold, the profit is called as short-term capital gain. Loss, short-term capital loss. If A, B, C are there and only C, A, B and C, 120. A alone is sold 60. Still the block is existing with 60. Will you calculate profit and loss? Answer is no. Rate of depreciation, building and all 10%, furniture 10%, plant and machinery, motor car 15%, molds and water pollution equipment and computers and all is highest rate is 40%. No depreciation on goodwill, intangible assets 25% is the rate you have to charge. Additional depreciation, very important for MCQs. It's allowed at the rate of 20% for new plant and machinery other than ships and aircrafts and used by manufacturer. For manufacturing unit, even for manufacturer, but for his admin building, he has purchased 4 laptops. Will you allow additional depreciation? No. And if the asset which is purchased new, if it is used for less than 180 days, then additional depreciation will also be allowed 10%. 50% this year, 10% next year. Clear to all of you? Right. Helpful? Then please comment below. Unabsorbed depreciation can be carried forward. One thing I'm feeling I can skip provided you note down. clubbing and set off. Watch the Sarathi videos first 20 minutes. That to watch it by speed in 1.25 or 15 minutes mein complete ho jaye. So if you're promising you will watch there, I can skip it here. Goodwill pay, there is no depreciation. Scientific research expense are allowed 100% in-house, or if you donate outside to universities, labs and all. Yeah, right. Preliminary expenses are allowed 5% of the cost of project or capital employed, and that's allowed 1/5 every year. Yes. License is not there for CA exam. For CMA also same material is used, so I've given only for CMA student. VRS, whatever you pay to your employee, say 5 lakhs, but 4 lakhs you have paid, whatever you pay, 1/5 will be allowed. 1 lakh when you pay, that will be allowed. Yeah. Insurance, bed debt, all. Bed debt when paid is allowed as expense. When bed debt is recovered, it's income. Bed debt when I showed in PNL, tabhi department disallowed. Department said, nahi, ye bed debt 10,000 is not allowed. So that time only it was disallowed and added in my salary. Now, if I recover bed debt, is my business income? Answer is no. Followed. STT, security transaction tax, is never allowed as expense in capital gain chapter. But here it is allowed. STT and CTT, commodity, provided you are showing this trading as your business income. Okay? Can you pay insurance and all for your employees? Yes. What is not allowed? Income tax. Is income tax allowed as expense? No. Income tax refund is your income? No. GST is allowed as expense? Yes. Then GST refund is your income? Yes. If any payment is made outside India and you forgot to deduct TDS, 100% it is disallowed. If you made payment in India without TDS, 30% is disallowed. Payment to relatives, unreasonable. I can pay salary to my son 50,000. That's reasonable. Acha, chalo 60,000, 5,000 per month. 12 5s are 60. But if I'm paying 6 lakh salary and he's just a BCom graduate, it's not allowed. So whatever is unreasonable will be disallowed. Okay, right. 43B says certain expense. Yeah, did I miss out one cash payment wala? Yes. Cash payment made made to a person on a single day above 10,000 is disallowed completely. Ma'am, I paid 12,000 cash. 10,000 to allow karo? No. And to transporter above 35,000. Single day you need to pay by RTGS, NEFT, all electronic modes of payment. 43B are specified expenses. If you have shown in March as outstanding, make sure you pay it before due date of filing the return. Like any taxes, duty, GST payable, income tax payable in March, and your due date is tax audit wala September. Tab tak to pay karo, right? Any sum payable by way of employer, bonus and commission. So, employee का हम बताते हैं ना, salary to outstanding salary मजे से we do and we reduce the profit. But that outstanding salary should be paid before due date of filing the return as per section 43B. If it is not paid, it is disallowed. Ma'am, but if it is paid in December 23, it will be allowed next year. Followed 43B. Stamp duty wala part I'll do there. You have to maintain the books of accounts under 44A. If you exceed these limits, now this you can check. 44AB mein if your turnover exceeds crore, or if you're professionals, your gross receipts exceeds 50 lakh, you have to get your books of accounts audited. But suppose if your cash receipts are less than 5%, because your whole business is online and all your payments are also through bank, then for you the tax audit limit is not 1 crore, it is 10 crore. This is a recent amendment. 44AD is presumptive taxation. Anyone who doesn't want to maintain the books can show 8% net profit on turnover. And if it's a digital turnover, then 6%. And he's not liable to maintain books, neither is liable to do audit. ठीक है? 44AD. This provision is applicable for individual HUF partnership firm, not to LLP company. Matlab, if your turnover is 60 lakhs. Ma'am, from where we will get turnover detail? Because we don't have books, we have not done audit. GST में तो होगा ना 20 lakh के ऊपर. So on 60 lakhs, 8%. 6 is 4,80,000 you show as net profit and bye-bye. Minimum. Can you show above this? Yes. If it is online turnover, then 6%. ठीक है? 44ADA is presumptive taxation for professionals. 50% of your gross receipts you show as your income and you need not maintain the books of accounts. ठीक है? This is a gist limit. You can check it 2 minutes. I'm here only. I say everywhere I've made the gist and printed in booster notes so that you can revise it at a faster pace. Did you see the gist notes for definition of salary? सब खुद से बनाए हैं आपका work easy करने के लिए, so that you all get all the benefits and do super well in your exam. चलें साथ में. Section 44A is transporter. Up to 10 vehicles are there, then don't maintain books. On heavy goods that is above 15 tons, 1,000 per ton per month you show income. And other than heavy good, light goods 7,500 per month and done. You need not maintain any books and all. That's all for business head. Yeah, one awareness I want you all to see. Ma'am, business head means start with net profit, add and less. But instead of P&L, if they give you receipt and payment, can you start and pick up only the correct receipts as your income and correct payment as your expenses? Yes. ठीक है? Sure. Business head is done. Let us go to the capital gain. Capital gain only if there's a capital asset and it is transferred, then you will get the capital gain. Property, jewelry, rural land and all. Okay, right. If single policy of LIC maturing, premium uska more than 2,50,000 or 2-3 policies put together, if the premium exceeds 250, then on maturity, LIC is not exempt under section 1010D. It will be taxable in capital gain. This is the latest amendment. They can ask you this question. Virtual digital asset, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, all these transfer is taxable as capital asset. And the tax rate under 115 BBH is 30%. Expenditure mein only the cost is allowed. You're not allowed to show loss and carry forward that loss. And no other loss you can set off in the virtual digital income. Indexation benefit is also not available. TDS is there, 194S is started. Virtual digital asset, if I'm buying from you, I'm generating income for you. So, जैसे 194 आए हैं ना, वैसे 194S, 1% on the transfer amount, TDS will be deducted. Yeah? This table is important for MCQs. Age of the capital asset, like my age and your age, like that age of capital asset will decide it's which capital gain. So listed securities, units of UTI, zero coupon bonds, if they are held within 12 months and sold, short-term capital gain. Above 12 months, long-term capital gain. Unlisted shares, land and building, up to 24 months, short-term. Land and building, very important for capital gain. Above 24 months, long-term. Debt-oriented mutual funds, unlisted securities and other capital assets like jewelry and all. Up to 36 months, 3 years, short term, otherwise long term. शॉर्ट टर्म में नो इंडेक्सेशन, लॉन्ग टर्म में इंडेक्सेशन मिलेगा. शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन ऑन शेयर्स 15%, लॉन्ग टर्म 1 lakh extra exemption, then 10%. Capital gain on short term other than shares, normal slab rate, long term 20%, and so on. Okay. Highest rate of surcharge on long term capital gain is 15%, 25 and 37% is not applicable. Yeah. And rebate is allowed everywhere but not on long term capital gain on shares. You can pause the video, take a screenshot. This is the best way. मैम ये कहाँ हेल्पफुल रहेगा? टोटल इनकम के प्रॉब्लम. नॉर्मल इनकम, नॉर्मल रेट ऑफ टैक्स. स्पेशल इनकम, स्पेशल रेट ऑफ टैक्स. Are you able to revise? How will you solve these problems? Acha, in tax rate, there's a beautiful concept we can do in just 1 minute with my own created this example. Unutilized basic exemption. Suppose your long-term capital gain on property is 8 lakhs. इसमें कितना tax है? 20%. Other salary income is 180. But for Harish, what is the basic exemption? 2,50,000. What is salary? 180. Is there unutilized basic exemption? 70,000. Yes. Can I set off that in the long-term capital gain? Can we set off the unutilized basic exemption? Yes. Then long-term capital gain will be taxable 7,30,000 and so on. Samjha? If the other income is less than basic exemption, remaining unutilized basic exemption, you can set off in short term, long term and calculate the tax. Oh, 1 minute. By mistake, I moved ahead. Yeah. ठीक है? Right. What transfers are taxable? That you know it. Format is clear. Sales minus expenses, net sales less index cost of acquisition, index cost of improvement, you get capital gain and then exemption. Indexation rates will be given. But if the asset is purchased in 1990, indexation is starting from 100 from 2001. Then original cost or fair market value, whichever is higher, you have to take. Subject to stamp duty value, pumping heart, 5-star खिलाओ, ये आएगा exam. This concept is like itna repeated, so I feel they are going to ask you this. That much times they have repeated this. Stamp duty value. Yeah, in my ABC analysis also I have repeated this because are you getting? Suppose cost of the house is 50,000 in 1990 and fair market value in 2001 is 5 lakh. But the stamp duty value is 4 lakh. So what will you take cost? 4 lakh. And that is 100. And it is sold in 20 to 23, 331. So cross multiply. But in between, I have done addition to the house. One more floor I constructed in 1780. So 272 has become 331. 1 lakh kharcha karke, you have done the cost, then index cost of improvement. These are all solved examples for you from the capital gain. Yeah, right. Conversion of capital asset into stock in trade. I was having land. Now I have started land business. Do I need to pay the tax here when I convert my personal asset into stock in trade? Do I need to pay the tax here? No. When that stock in trade is sold, yes. But indexation is allowed only till here. Please comment below. Shall we continue with all the remaining topics here or 15 minutes mein 9 o'clock hoga to we'll wind up? Then we can continue 11 or tomorrow you are planning to do GST. Then we will finish off. As you wish. I said this is a bonus class. I never do it, but this time I thought I must help you in providing that gist revision so that you can work it out more fast. Why indexation only till 16 and 17? Because that day property was converted into stock in trade. Then why capital gain? Because bike to say. The day it is converted into stock in trade, 8 lakh, this is the sale consideration. And this is the index cost. But tax you pay here. And for business, the sale consideration or the fair market value, the date is converted, will become the cost. And that's business income. Like this, very nice examples. Compulsory acquired the building in 2016, no tax. 18 they gave sale consideration, no tax. Paise to mile. Government has acquired in 16. Indexation till 16 only. From 12 to 16. But I got the compensation in 20 to 23. So I'll pay capital gain in 20 to 23. Enhanced compensation I got in 23-24 that time. Interest on enhanced compensation is taxable in income from other sources with 50% deduction. Nice. ठीक है? Conversion of debentures into shares, exempt. But when shares are sold, you have to pay the capital gain. If I've got the right shares, मतलब company ने मुझे बोला कि on 1000 you can take the right shares, but I renounced it in favor of someone, then whatever money they are giving me, 1000 shares I can buy from company. I am the existing shareholder, but I don't want to buy. I have given it to Parth. Now Parth, I have given 1000 shares into two. Whatever amount I receive is not sale of the shares, it's sale of the rights. So that's straight taxable as short-term capital gain, sale of the rights. Okay. ESOP part we have already done. Yeah, buyback is important. Buyback of share is companies buying its own share from the market and cancelling. So for the shareholder, is it transfer? Yes. Shareholder बोल रहा है I sell it to someone else or I sell it to company. For me, so it's going to be taxable. So when these buyback of shares is taxable in the hands of the shareholders, in this case, company is paying additional tax, 23.296%. Tax 20%, surcharge 12%. You remember for company, the surcharge rates are 7% and 12%. So company is paying 20% tax on that 12% surcharge and for 23.296% from their pocket, so that this becomes exempt for shareholder. Are you getting? Shareholder have sold the share to company in 100. Shareholder ने acquire किया था 60 में. So what's income for shareholder? 40. On this, company will pay 20% tax, 12% surcharge, 4% ECESS, 23.296% outrightly will be paid by company, and this buyback of shares is exempt in the hands of shareholders. ठीक है? Right. There are some concepts which I can't explain now because they are huge. वो करने बैठे slum sale देख लो. Lump sum I have sold you all the properties. Then in that some are short term, some are long term. If one asset transferred is also long term, everything will be long term. Okay, right. What will be the cost? Cost will be for depreciable asset WDV, for other assets, for depreciable assets WDV, for other assets book value, and for liabilities book value. So sale consideration slum sale में 10 लाख आ रहा है, तो cost of acquisition and indexation वो सब नहीं है, just deduct net worth. Ma'am, what is net worth? Take all the depreciable assets at WDV, non-depreciable assets at the book value, and liabilities also at the book value. That's all about the slum sale. Same problem. This is going to be our section 50C. If actual sale consideration say stamp duty is more, then take stamp duty. But if stamp duty value is more only by 10%, then just take action. Are you getting? Ma'am, actual sale consideration is 10 lakh and stamp duty value is 10.1. Just thoda sa zyada, ignore. But if stamp duty value is 18 lakhs, take that. So actual sale consideration and stamp duty, if the difference is up to 10%, then ignore. Above that, take it. Now you go to valuation officer. Valuation officer is so higher than stamp duty. Chup chap accept the stamp duty. If valuation officer's value is lower than stamp duty, stamp duty. Just check it, aram se it will be clear. Huh? Actual sale consideration is less than stamp duty, to stamp duty. Stamp duty is less than the valuation officer, then stamp duty. Stamp duty is more than valuation officer, go for valuation. Acha, stamp duty value on the date of agreement. I've sold you the property today, you paid me the token amount by other than cash. Then stamp duty on the agreement. Stamp duty value on the date of registration. If you have not paid the on agreement any token amount, or you have paid on agreement the token amount in cash, ignore. Then take stamp duty value on registration. See, there's always difference, dear students, in stamp duty value on the agreement and registration. Registration might take 2-3 months. ठीक है? Right. So ये सब चीजें ध्यान रखना है. Advance money, super important for solving problems. You will surely get this. You know, I did a deal, okay, with Shivani, and that was before 1/4/2012, and I forfeited advance money. This forfeited advance money, I have to reduce it from cost and then do the indexation. 90% of students who wrote MTP this time, they did this mistake. Capital gain is very easy to solve and you can save lot of time. आप करके देखो, इतना फास्ट होगा. सेल कंसिडरेशन माइनस एक्सपेंस नेट सेल माइनस कॉस्ट, जल्दी हो जाएगा. बट गलती नहीं करना है. If advance money is forfeited on say 1st April 2012, and again I've sold the property in 20 to 23, reduce advance money forfeited from cost and then do indexation. If the advance money is forfeited after 1/4/2012, then it will be taxable in income from other sources. Advance money forfeited. Sell the house and buy the house 2 years forward, 3 years forward, 54 exemption. Very important is 54 EC. Sell land and building and buy NHAI and REC bonds within 6 months from the date of transfer. Bonds dekhte se, yeah ma'am, 54 EC. Arey, but bonds are purchased after 1 year of transfer, not allowed. You just need to make a phone call to your agent to buy the bonds. So within 6 months of the date of the transfer, if you sell a land and building and buy bonds, allowed. 54F important hai. You sell any asset, but you buy what? House. And you should not be holding more than one house. Then it is allowed. For purchase of time, 1 year backward, 2 years forward, and construction 3 years forward is allowed. Acha, how much is exempt? Investment in the house or capital gain, whichever is lower. Yeah, just one video check of capital gain. I think it's the 4th video in Sarathi. 30 to 40 minutes I have explained all the exemptions. Only in 54F it is cross multiply. I'll tell you. नीचे है. ये देखो 54. Sale consideration is 100. Index cost of acquisition is 75. Long-term capital gain is 25. Investment in new houses 35. So in 125 is long-term capital gain. Why did you invest? You have sold jewelry and you purchased house. But jewelry you have sold for 100. Why did you purchase the house for 35? In 125 is exempt in 35. How much? Ma'am, is it like average clause of insurance claims? Answer is yes, if you remember. Only for 54F cross multiply. Otherwise, everywhere investment or capital gain, whichever is lower, is exempt. Acha, ma'am, if it is revoked, will it become taxable? Yes. You have sold one house, purchased one house, and this house you should have holded it for 3 years. Before 3 years, you transferred. Again, it will become taxable, but in the second house, cost will be reduced till the extent you have obtained the exemption. I have explained that with an example here. ये देखो. You have sold house and you took 25 exemption. Now this house, second house also you sold in 40. So whatever exemption you have availed, that you can deduct, and remaining will be taxable as short-term capital gain. So if exemption is removed. Okay, CGS scheme is applicable, dear students. What is CGS scheme? If you are not able to purchase the property within by the year ending, that is for 20 to 23, the due date of filing the return is September 23. Till then, if you are not able to purchase house, you still have 2 years to purchase the house from date of transfer and 3 years for construction. Put this money in capital gain account scheme and withdraw it only for use for which you have deposited. So CGS allowed? Answer is yes, capital gain account scheme. That's all for capital gain chapter. Income from other sources, I think you all know now this board sitting fees and lottery and all. But income from other sources, important thing is like gift received from other than relatives. Above 50,000 in a year will be taxable if it is received by individual and HF. So suppose 6 of my students give me 60,000 rupees as gift. Will it become taxable in my hands? Yes. Ma'am, how is income from other sources asked? Question number 114 marks. Business head के साथ other source and calculate the tax. So it's very important. Don't leave it. 6 of my students giving me 10,000. But for me, for the SSE, if they have received gift in cash and kind, other than relatives, above 50,000, it is taxable. Once you exceed the limit, full limit is taxable, except it is not taxable if you have received it on occasion of marriage from a relative or under a will or contemplation of death, or you have received from trust and so on. Otherwise, it is taxable. Okay, so that's all about gift. Certain deductions are allowed, like when family pension is received, 1/3 or 15,000 lower is allowed. Interest on enhanced compensation, 50% deduction is allowed. Yeah, from dividend received to invest in the shares of this company. You all know now all the dividends are taxable. Interim dividend, final dividend. But to invest in the shares of this company, I have paid interest on loan. Maybe 1 lakh rupees or anything, but how much interest is deductible? 20% of dividend received. So even though I have paid interest 10,000 to invest in the shares of RIL, and RIL has paid me dividend, whatever dividend I have received, 20% tak interest on loan is allowed. Okay, right. Taxable dividend is clear, right? ATM deduction is also there for the companies. Whatever dividend they have received and whatever dividend they have paid, least is deductible. All examples are like super clear. If you're having the Sarathi notes, yeah. Income from other sources, very important, is like lottery, interest and all. If you receive net 9,000, 90%, you have to gross it up. Always gross income is taxable. If lottery is received 70,000, this is 70%. Taxable will be 100%, 1 lakh. So you need to gross up the income. ठीक है? Private company, ये MCQs में आता है, just 1 point. Private company, if they issue the shares above the issue price, fair market value, 100 का share है, 120 FMV है. Why did I issue you at 130? Then if I have issued you at 130, 10 rupees is income for you. Followed? Right. Deemed dividend concept is explained in the regular class. What do you say? Clubbing and set off. Will you see 20 minutes? Minor's income is clubbed in the hands of the parent who is having highest income in the first year. But before clubbing minor's income, this I can explain orally. Minor's income is clubbed in the hands of the parent who is having highest income in the first year, then is subsequently clubbed, unless they are divorced. Now, There are 3, 4 minors. All the income will be clubbed in the one parent who is having highest income. Yes. For every minor's income clubbed in the hands of the parent under section 1032 up to 1500 per child without upper limit of 2 children, sabke liye exemption is allowed. But if minor is handicapped or minor is having income with some talent and all, okay, then that income of the minor will not be clubbed in the hands of parents separately. Spouse income is clubbed in the hands of the husband or husband का wife में होता है, तो mutual clubbing you do. After that, whoever's income is higher, in that minor's income is taxable. These minute points I have taken care in the 20 minutes explanation of Sarathi batch. Any topic where you feel these last 2.5 hours is not enough, you need to spare more time, watch the Sarathi taxation batch videos. Watch the ABC analysis and the MTP. हाँ, प्लेलिस्ट में है, तो फास्ट ट्रैक पे भी MTP देख के जाओ. You will get lot of presentation skills also. Now clubbing I have done. Yeah, if the spouse is getting, wife is getting salary or commission and she's not qualified, not working, that income will also be clubbed in the hands of husband. Any asset transferred to spouse or daughter-in-law, directly or indirectly, if they use it, no problem. If they derive income, that will be clubbed in the hands of husband. Here one capital problem is asked. My own capital is 5 lakh. My husband gave 3 lakh. On 8 lakhs, whatever profit I have earned, proportionate 3 lakh profit will go to husband. Yes. So any income which is clubbed, which I have received, but clubbed in the hands of my husband, okay, but income on that income, if I have received any accretion or income on income, is it clubbed? No. If my income is clubbed in hands of my husband, losses ka benefit bhi unko hi milega. You're getting this right? Okay, so that's all about the clubbing topic. Clubbing, just see the booster notes I have given, it will be very clear. It's a very small topic. Set off of losses. Salary, there's no question of loss. House property 1 and 2 you can set off, but house property loss, this is like super important for exam, super important. House property loss, what you can set off, I can give you 5-6 things. Ek stamp duty, ek house property, which comes in every exam. I can talk more so much in Telegram group also, but I don't want you to confuse you on the last moment. So this is the best I am doing. Rest you have to work out. From my side, I have done best I could do. Hai House property 1, 2, all losses you set off, but when you take to other heads, you can take only up to 2 lakhs in the outer column. Remaining will be carry forward. Ma'am, but if carry forward loss is 8 lakhs, next year can we set off full 8 lakhs house property in 10 lakhs income? Yes. Within the head house property, pura set off allowed hai. In other heads, you can set off only up to 2 lakh. Business head, business loss can be set off in business income or speculative. But speculative loss can be set off only in speculative income. Capital gain. Can other losses be set off in capital gain? Yes. But capital loss, they don't go out of the house. Short-term capital loss can be set off in short-term and long-term. But long-term capital loss will be set off only in long-term capital gain, not in short-term. Casual income में no deduction, no exemption, no losses. Can you say lottery I have one of 10,000 but lottery का ticket ही 1,000 and 9,000? No. No expenditures are allowed. No basic exemption. No deduction. I know we all are feeling hungry, including me, but इसको कर लेते हैं. Acha, can you carry forward the income? Yes. When you carry forward the income, all the incomes you can carry, all the losses you can carry forward for 8 years. Expect speculative loss and horse races for 4 years and unabsorbed depreciation and 35 AD ka loss for indefinite period. Now all the losses what you carry forward, you can set off only in the same head, except unabsorbed depreciation and 35 AD loss. Yeah, unabsorbed depreciation is like a brahmas, kahin bhi set off ho jayega. But 1 and 3 are not friends. You cannot set off the business loss in salary. So salary income mein they'll give you business loss, and maje se students are doing set off, you will do a mistake. For carry forward of all the losses, it's necessary to file the return on time, except unabsorbed depreciation and house property. ठीक है? Deductions के लिए also it is necessary to file the return and all on time. ATC, PPF, LIC, tuition fees all up to 1,50,000. 83 up to 1,50,000. 80CCD1 is employees contribution to national pension scheme and all 10% of basic and DA. 80CCD employers contribution. 80CCD1B, other than this 80CCD1, if you have put extra 50,000. I know I'm going little fast because इसको इतना detail में पढ़ाया है. So you feel you have not done deductions, don't watch this video here. Stop this video. Go to deductions Sarathi batch. I think 2 or 3 classes I've completed all deductions, but आप सिर्फ पहले का आधा घंटा देख लो. ठीक है? 80 days mediclaim for self and children 25,000, for parents 50,000, and this includes 5,000 expenses. What expenses? 5,000 health checkup and all. 80 double D's handicap normal disability है तो flat 75,000. If you are maintaining handicapped and you have even spent 8,000 rupees, you'll get flat 75 deduction. And severe disability means completely blind and all, then 100% 1,25,000. ठीक है? But if that handicapped is filing his own return, he can claim same deduction in 80U. फिर से एक बार, 80 double D's if I am maintaining a handicap, flat 75,000 deduction. Severe है तो 1,25,000. ठीक है? I'm just doing important ones. 80E interest is allowed for 8 years if you have taken for education loan. 80EEA housing loan interest over and above 2 lakhs deductible there. यहाँ पे भी 1,50,000 मिलेगा provided you satisfy some conditions. 80 EEB chances more if you purchase electronic vehicle, battery operated 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler, and for that if you have taken a loan, that interest is deductible 1,50,000. Yeah, 80G I will tell you. Okay, donations and all. Just 2 minutes, please read this. I'll be back. Yeah. Okay, ATG I will explain because as I said in question number 1, either they will ask you agricultural income or they will ask you ATG. तो कर लेते हैं इसको. ATG I'll tell you now. Just wait, no? In link we can complete all other. 80 TTA versus 80 TTB, very important. मैंने इसका gist भी दिया है तो directly I'll read from there. These are one concept, one questions. 80G's donations. So directly some donations are allowed 100%. In that newly added one is Swachh Bharat Kosh, Clean Ganga, PM Cares Fund, COVID related fund, National Fund from, this is like allowed 100% direct. 50% direct, 3 from Gandhi family for remembering. Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and Prime Minister's Drought Relief Fund, 50% direct. Now, 100% for family planning and Olympics subject to qualifying amount. Now, what is qualifying amount? Take your gross total income. Give all the other deductions from ATC to ATU. What you get, it is called as your adjusted total income. and uska 10% tak you can take the deduction 100%. I hope I'm doing revision. If you feel you are learning with this, it's very difficult, then watch the Sarathi videos. But if you have already learned and you're doing the revision, then this video is very helpful. This comes mostly in example. Trust, temple, church, mosque, gurudwara, 50% of the qualifying amount. Yeah, 50% of the qualifying amount. So how do you compute the adjusted total income? Take gross total income, reduce it with all the deductions from ATC to ATU other than ATG, reduce long-term capital gain and short-term capital gain on shares, because on this deductions are not allowed. Long-term capital gain and short-term capital gain on shares पे ATC to ATU के deductions नहीं मिलते, तो निकाल दो. Casual income don't deduct, रहने दो, lottery and all. Now what you get is called as adjusted total income, and adjusted total income ka 10% is the qualifying amount, and qualifying amount, adjusted total income ka 10% or actual donation, whichever is lower is qualifying amount, and qualifying amounts 100% if you have donated for Olympics or family planning, and 50% if you have donated for trust. One question which is asked so much in MCQ is, if you want to claim ATG, make sure you give donations above 2,000 by check. If you give in cash, you will not get deductions. And now without this, your exam will not come. ATTTA versus ATTTB. Whatever interest you have paid on the saving account from the bank, cooperative society, ATTTA. Individual and HUF will get a deduction up to 10,000. ATTTB, deductions for saving account as well as for FDs for senior citizen up to 50,000. So in exam, if the question is for senior citizen, bank and FD, both interest are deductible up to 50,000. Normally, it is deductible up to 10,000. Okay? Right. These are all total income problems which we have done thoroughly along with presentation. Yeah. Advance tax you have to pay in 4 installment by 15 June 15%, 15 September 45%, 15 December 75%, 100% by March. Otherwise 234C interest. B interest from April to due date if 90% tax is not paid. And due date to actual date 234A if you are filing late return. ठीक है? TDS में I want to skip all this. एक important वाला देख लो 194C. Single contract payment above 30,000 or aggregate 1 lakh. 1% TDS will be deducted for individual and HF. For others it is 2%. You can't learn with this video, beta. If you have learned, then I'm doing revision with all of you. Yeah. ठीक है? Chalo, only important ones I'm doing. 194I. If transfer of any immovable property, land, building and all other than agricultural land, 1% of sale consideration or stamp duty जो भी है वो TDS कटेगा. ठीक है? If rent is paid by individual other than whose books of accounts are audited above 50,000, TDS will be deducted 5% once in the last month. Once only. More chances of getting TDS questions from 194N onwards. This is all covered in ABC analysis. What is important? 194 and I'm doing important only. Rather than revising everything, I'm doing only the important. पूरे TDS के section अभी revise करने बैठे तो बहुत time लगेगा. 194N. If you withdraw cash from your saving or current account from a bank above 1 crore rupees, then 2% is the TDS deducted for your withdrawal above 1 crore. हाँ, तो 120 विद्रॉ किए तो 20 lakhs के ऊपर 2%. आई हैव गिवन एग्जांपल बिकॉज आई वांट यू टू स्कोर 8 out of 8 marks in TDS and TCS. Yeah. And if you are a defaulter, if the SSC is a defaulter, he has not filed last 3 years return and due date of filing the return is over, then up to 20 lakhs, no TDS, 20 lakhs to 1 crore, 2%, 1 crore and above, 5% is TDS. E-commerce operator, 1% is the TDS. 194P, if you are a senior citizen above 75 years, no other income other than pension and bank interest, then that bank will pay the tax on your behalf and senior citizen is exempt. TDS will be deducted by bank under 194P exactly whatever is the final tax. 194Q, if last year's turnover is above 10 crores, then this year whatever is purchases above 50 lakhs, 0.1% I will deduct and pay to the seller. If PAN is not given by seller, then 5%. 194Q. 194R, if perquisites are provided by a company to another people above 20,000, company या कोई भी, then whenever perquisites are provided in business, in cash or in kind above 20,000, TDS is deducted at the rate of 10%. 194 as I already told you, virtual digital asset, if you have purchased, 1% if paid by specified person, that is whose books of accounts are audited, individuals and all. And other than that, companies and all, TDS is deducted. 194S, if you want to check in detail, that's there in the notes. TCS, tax collected at source, we will check. 194Q or 206C1H versus is, virtual digital assets. Specified person means individual and HF whose turnover does not exceed 1 crore. Means his books are not, he's a chota mota individual. Then above 50,000, if he has purchased virtual digital asset, seller ka 1% TDS he will deduct in 194S. Are you revising with me? Other than this, 10,000. Notes, if you want, shortly I'll give the booster notes also, PDF. TDS is to be deposited. ये देखो due date एक important है. Quarterly return, TCS और TDS का. By June का July, September, October, December, Jan and March का May. Here by 15th. Otherwise 234E. Fee is there 200 per day. And even the TDS is to be deducted and paid by 7th of the next month. If TDS is not deducted, then from due date to actual date, 1% interest you have to pay. And if you have deducted TDS and kept in your pocket, not paid to government, then 1.5% interest. ठीक है? Yeah, if the PAN details are not given by deductee, then deduct it at the higher rate or 20%. TCS rates are there in the first page. Only important is overseas tour package. 5%. TCS will be collected by whoever it is, authorized dealer. And if you have exchanged the currency above 7 lakhs, then 5%. And if that 7 lakhs currency exchange is for education loan and all, then instead of 5%, the rate is 0.5%. TCS rate, I think, 206C1H. Either as a buyer, might last year's turnover is above 10 crore, and this year if it exceeds 50 lakhs, I will deduct TDS under 194Q, 0.1%. Or as a seller, if your turnover exceeds above 10 crore last year and you have sold the goods above 50 lakh, then you deducted to collect 2061H. दोनों नहीं रहेगा. Any one will be applicable. Okay, right. रिटर्न ऑफ इनकम में नया जो एडिशन हुआ है वो लिमिट्स देख लेते हैं. इफ यू हैव डिपॉजिटेड एन अमाउंट एक्सीडिंग 1 crore in the current account, and if you have incurred foreign expense above 2 lakh, electricity bill above 1 lakh, or if your turnover or gross receipts exceed 60 lakhs, as a professional 10 lakhs, TDS TCS deducted is 25,000, for senior citizen 50,000, or if you have deposited in saving account more than 50 lakhs during the year in the saving account, or more than 1 crore in one or more current account bank wise, then you have to mandatorily file the return. Due date of filing the return is July. For tax audit cases, audit report is September, but due date of filing the return is October. I hope you all are doing revision with me. Yes? If you have not studied, then you will not follow. I'm just revising. Like if you again ask me what is important in TDS 194 NOP, all this I have given in ABC analysis also. So just revise it from the booster notes. Right? Okay. What about the returns? Can you file loss return and belated return? Yes, but only till December. Super duper. See, first 5 MCQs are case study based, 10 marks. After that, 4 MCQs, no, here return of income is asked. So can you file loss return or the belated return or the revised return? Yes. But for 22-23 by 31st December 23. And if you don't file the loss return on time, you lose the benefit of carry forward of losses except unabsorbed depreciation and house property. Okay? I'm not revising everything. I'm giving you the gist. Updated return can be filed within 24 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. What is your financial year? 22-23. Where it ends? March 23. Assessment year? March 24. Plus 2 years tak you can file updated return. But updated return mein, it's like, self amnesty scheme. What is updated return? You show the additional income, or if you have overshown the loss, reduce the loss. Reduce the loss is nothing but you're showing the income. So updated return cannot be filed if there is a loss, or it decreases the income, or it reduces the refund. Ma'am, then why we will file updated return? If you have not shown the income and you want to show now, and the time for filing the return December is over, then you can file updated return. Okay? But do we need to pay additional tax on the updated return? Yes. If updated return is furnished after expiry of the time, but before 12 months, 2 years time is there from the end of the assessment year, March 24. March 25 तक file कर लिया तो 25% of the aggregate tax surcharge and interest. Whatever is the additional tax and interest. Not fee and all. Additional tax and interest pay on that 25% you have to pay additional income tax. Ma'am, it's like a penalty. Then yes. Can they ask you this in MCQ? Yes. After 12 months, but before 24 months from the end of the assessment year, then 50% of aggregate tax and interest. 234 ABC. 234A interest is for late filing the return. 234B interest is from April to due date if tax paid is up to 90%. Am I revising with all of you? Are you all following? Only important things I am discussing. If you are following, then comment below. Who will sign the return that you know very well? Just read it from here. In that one added is like Insolvency Act mein whoever is appointed as insolvency officer. Rest you can write. Is it necessary to apply for PAN? Yes. In this latest added is if you intend to deposit cash in one or more of the saving account or current account and all 20 lakhs. in one or more saving account, current account, if you want to deposit more than 20 lakhs cash, then before 7 days you need to obtain first PAN card. Nowadays, PAN card you are getting as a tatkal, or if you want to withdraw the cash above 20 lakhs. See, government is saying from my bank to your bank to that bank. Why do you want the money in cash? Why do you want to withdraw above 20 lakhs? If, then give us the PAN card details. Do we need to quote the PAN card on certain transactions? Yes. Motor vehicle, four-wheeler, two-wheeler, no, not necessary. So this they can ask you in MCQs, these bits. So somewhere the now limits you have to read on your own. Yeah, PAN and Aadhaar. Yeah, this one is very important, 234F. If total income does not exceed 5 lakhs, then 1000. Total income does not exceed 5 lakhs, then it is 1000 fee for default in furnishing the return. समझ में आ रहा है? Ma'am, but if I'm filing late return, I'm paying interest. But along with interest, you have to pay fee also. If your income is up to 5 lakhs, then 1000. If your income exceeds 5 lakhs, then 5000. 234F fee is for late filing of return over and above 234 ABC interest. ठीक है? Right. Total income problems we have already solved. So that's all. I tried my best to give you the gist. Stamp duty is important. ATTTA, TTB is important. And do check from my side. I have given a full marathon of 9 hours. You can see the link in Telegram and challenges group. Then I have solved MTP 1 and 2. Earlier, all the exams MTPs are there in the playlist. CA Inter Taxation. फिर ABC एनालिसिस आपको करवा दिया. फिर टॉप 50 MCQ जरूर कल देख के जाना. It is covering all the amendment. Amendment lectures are there. If you don't have time to watch amendment lectures, just the PDF material is 5 pages. You check it because amendments will be covered somewhere. So I think these, from my side, I have done everything. Live batch done, this done, this done. Now it is your job still to study well in whatever way. I feel after having dinner now, start with your GST. In GST, most important is ITC problem, which comes for 8 marks and from earlier RTP. If this is November 23, ITC problem of May 23, November 22, they will ask now. RTP, MTP का ITC के problem करके जाओ, 8 marks mandatory. Second topic in GST you should do is valuation, right? And then documentation. Documentation, very easy gist they are asking. Yeah, right. So this is the way you prepare. If you have doubt, click the picture, send your doubt clearly with the complete picture problem and your doubt. Topics name preferably, if you can send this is house property and all, whatever, so that I can solve it by voice note in Telegram. Telegram link is there in any description of the YouTube video. I have also done this for the first time. Tell me, this is good, or shall we record 9 hours marathon with good breaks earlier and give? वो तो है, already marathon भी किया है, of course. Top 60 questions you can get in those Sarathi questions only. Every chapter is starting with conceptual question, but जो पीछे के questions है ना, past exam के, they're like combined questions. Just check it orally also. You will do super duper well. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching till here. God bless you all. I'm always there with you. Pen flow होगा, देखा हुआ problem exam में आएगा. You will do too good in the exam. You are doing super well, and nothing can stop you from passing income tax and GST exam. Right? Blessings and wishes to all of you always. Any last moment doubts are there? Any doubt is there? Any suggestion you have? Just communicate with me through Telegram, through mail IDs, or wherever you can. Would surely love to help you all. Bye bye, all of you. Yeah, CMA students, surely we are solving MTP1 in the next week. It's like too hectic for me right now with ongoing all other work also with Diwali and other classes. But surely I could do this, so I have helped you. Bye bye. Bye, all of you. Super well, you are going to perform in day after tomorrow's exam. मैम याद नहीं है, याद रहेगा. और बहुत लिमिट्स है. दीप्ति मैम को भी इतने साल में याद नहीं रहते, भूल जाओ. 194C, 194N, 194O, what are important? Revise that and go.